Hello, and welcome to Queer Abbey, a weekly chat show that is performed, recorded, and produced by yours truly. I kind of just bit my tongue while I was saying that. Ow. Well, welcome to the 36th episode of Queer Abbey. I'm so excited that you're here. I appreciate you for tuning in each week to this lovely little chat show. It is the middle of the term for me, and I'm tired, mama. I was all conflicted because I wanted to get all cute and do my makeup for this premium podcast, but I couldn't be bothered because I had 3 meetings today and I had to work. One of the meetings was while I was at work, so I don't know if that counts, but I had to ride the bus back to campus and do a meeting for this film production that I'm working on, which was super fun, but it's a lot of work, mama. Riding the bus 4 times in one day? You're joking. I'm basically a goddess of transit. A transit goddess. So that's cool. And then I have one more meeting that's a secret. It's not anything actually that exciting, but I can't talk about it for legal reasons. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah. Let's check my notes here. Film noir project, ceasefire. So there's a temporary ceasefire that they have reached in Gaza for 6 weeks from a few days ago. So that's really big news. I saw that on the television while I was at a coffee shop the other day, and it gave me chills to see people driving back to Palestine in the families of people that are returning to this place that's fucking decimated, but at least they get to go back to their home. That's the bare minimum. So that's another important revelation from this week. I've got lots of stuff that's been very emotional recently. I've been reconnecting with a lot of old friends. Tomorrow, I'm really excited. I'm going to go hang out with one of my old roommates, Mars. Shout out Mars. Woo, maybe you'll see this one day. And yeah. My sister is getting married in a couple of months. I don't want to give too much personal information about that, but Taylor, I know that you listen to this sometimes. I love you very much. She's getting married to her partner, Dan. I've never been to a wedding as an adult, so that's going to be another sort of emotional moment for me that's coming up. I've been thinking about my sister being all grown up and getting married to some man. In all seriousness, they're a cute little couple, though, and I'm really excited to attend this wedding. I have no idea, what to wear. It is going to be in a beachy kind of setting, so yeah, I'm going to have to do some planning and thinking about bringing tissues because I'm going to be bawling my eyes out because my beautiful big sister is getting married. Yep. Seeing old friends, seeing my family, all of these things are going to be very lovely, and I look forward to it very much. Today, my manager went to Costco, and that bitch got so many snacks. It was so fierce. It was just in time for this awful work meeting that I had to go to, too, because, I sat out of frame of this Zoom meeting with our CEO, and I just ate Rice Krispie treats the entire time. It was fantastic. I loved it. This podcast, it's taken off, mama. No, not really. But I really appreciate that recently a lot of my classmates and just casual friends have taken interest in listening to this podcast. I think the video format is probably a lot more engaging to watch. So thank you for that. Thank you for being here, and thank you for watching. I've also started putting these episodes up on YouTube, so woo, if you're watching there. I'm going to try to upload them pretty soon after I put them out on podcast services, but I have to do it manually. I don't know if any of y'all that are listening have a little podcast of your own, but you do what's called an RSS feed when you release a podcast, or at least that's the easiest way. And that's this sort of this little trickle down thing where you post on one podcast or streaming service, and then it automatically posts for you through this RSS feed. It's this domain or something, where your podcast exists, and it gets distributed throughout all of these different services. which is just so cool. So you don't have to go through and individually post to like Apple Music and Spotify and iHeartRadio and Pocket Casts and all of these random softwares that like people use them, but like I don't know about all of them, and like I would have no time to like go through and upload to each of these things individually. So that's a pretty cool revelation. I didn't know that before I just kind of started doing a podcast, that you could even do something like that. So yeah, it's never that difficult. You know, if you wanted to have a little YouTube channel or a podcast or something, you are so capable of getting a USB microphone like this and some lights and using your iPhone like I am and making a video or a podcast, and you can do a good job. It might sound shitty at first, but you can like trial and error it, you know? I think I'm looking very fierce, even though I'm not wearing any makeup, with these lights. I got some like little $40 video lights from Amazon, and I've been playing with like how high and low and how much. And I think I'm doing a good job. Is it too bright, maybe? I don't know. I feel like it would be very fierce to film like a makeup tutorial with this kind of lighting. You could really see all of the little things that I'm doing. That could be so fun. Oh, I remembered what I wanted to do. I have a show and tell segment for you today. I saw this really fun TikTok about how to properly tie a scarf. And I've been really obsessed with it because I was tying a scarf wrong my entire life and I had no idea. So we're going to be doing a little tutorial today. So we just have like a standard scarf here, right? You know, it's not particularly thick or anything, but it needs to have a little bit of thickness to it to like be effective. But this is so that the scarf keeps your ears warm. You know, I used to always just put them on like this, like, you know, letting it hang, kind of maybe doing like a little one of these. Ooh, cunt. Yeah. But actually that's inadequate. What you really should be doing is putting it on the other way, like this. Kind of unfold it. Okay. Across the neck, like you're a theater teacher. It's giving like High School Musical theater teacher lady. Very theatrical. Okay, so now you're going to take it and wrap it around. Both sides here, see? And then you're going to tuck. You're going to create a little slack and tuck this through. Right? Okay. Now bear with me here. So now we've got this sort of like slip knot situation around your neck. So that's cute. Actually, you can even just leave it like that. Ooh, get a little styling. But the point of this is that it creates this slack back here that you can pull up over your ears, and you can get all babushka with it if you want to. Look. So you have these two layers. See? Oh my God, isn't that fierce? It's giving like 50s lady in a car, or like also like the Virgin Mary or something. I don't know. But look, so warm, so cozy. Also, it's kind of fierce. I've been feeling very like some mysterious woman on the subway wearing a headscarf like this. Fashion headache. But now you know how to keep your ears warm. You can go ahead and put your, collared jacket on over this, and it'll keep everything nicely tucked in here. You'll see. Gorgine. So warm, so cozy. Anyway, the more you know. Thank you, lady on TikTok, for teaching me how to properly tie a scarf so that I can teach my followers. Oh, that's not how he's wearing his scarf. I have this little bird guy that my sister gave me. It's like a little stuffed animal thing. And he's not wearing the scarf the right way either. Apparently his dumbass needs a lesson. Look. He's cute, though. Little bird friend. Yeah. Cute. Okay, well, now I'm getting very sidetracked, so let's move on to our next segment. Let's give a little questionable advice. Woohoo! All right, let's get into a little bit of advice for this week. The first caller said, Queer Abbey. My boss has been mentioning to me over the last couple of months that they want to put me up next in line for a promotion at my job, and had been consistently giving me a higher amount of hours and shifts as a team lead. That was a run-on sentence. I got my schedule 2 weeks ago, and I noticed that I got significantly less team lead hours than usual. I was kind of confused as to why, and very stressed due to financial strains in my life right now. This sudden dip in lead shifts was out of the blue, so my anxiety is at an all-time high. I was approached by my boss last week during one of my shifts, and they said they wanted to talk. They mentioned a few mistakes had been made during my last couple of shifts, and they were disappointed with my performance recently. However, I feel like all of these mistakes were things that were out of my control, and that there may actually be an underlying reason for the recent switch up in behavior. What do you think? Well. Not the switch up. That's just no good. It's really difficult to try to predict what people think about you, and in fact, some may argue it's even impossible to know what others are thinking of you. And I'm sorry that it's affecting you in that way, because it sounds like you were excited to be promoted at your job and that now there's sort of some confusion about where you stand with your boss. What do I think? I think that maybe you did something that was, not ideal at work, and that, I don't know, like maybe your boss doesn't like you that much, and is that really the end of the world? My advice that I would give you is to stop putting so much faith in your ability to know what other people think about you, because you set up an expectation for yourself that you were going to get promoted, even though it's not something that was really on the table. And I'm not trying to blame you. It sounds like your boss may be a temperamental person too. That could really be the main factor here. But, in the realm of possibilities, it could be that you did something wrong and they noticed, and maybe you weren't as keenly aware of this dynamic as you thought. And that's really okay. It's not the end of the world, but seek out something that works for you. If this job is not working out for you and you're having financial strains, you don't make enough money, maybe you should go elsewhere. And if you've come to this realization that you don't have any upward mobility and you're not going to get promoted, then good that you know that, and now you can move on, right? Sometimes we have these realizations in life where we overhear conversations in life, and it's meant for us. We're meant to take it as what it is, which is a sign that you should just find something better, I have no way of really knowing, just like you don't, what your boss thinks of you. And I have no way of knowing if you did something wrong, actually. But you can be honest with yourself and check in about what's good for you and what you need. And you don't need to rely on other people as like a litmus for your behavior, At work, it can be a little different, but go find a different motherfucking job. Who cares? The next caller inquired, Queer Abbey. How can I go back to school after being out for 5 years? I dropped out during COVID and haven't been back, but I want to try. Oh my God, not again. I got something in my eye again. This happened the last podcast too. There's some evil about in the air. It's probably because I turned my air purifier off while I'm recording this so that it's all quiet, and then it gets there's allergens in the air now. Oh, sorry, so unprofessional. How can I go back to school after being out for 5 years? I dropped out during COVID and haven't been back, but I want to try. I don't know where to start or if I can pass the tests. Well, Miss Caller, I think that the best advice I can give you is to not stand in your own way. I think this is actually going to tie in really nicely to the first little piece of advice that I just gave, in that, like, you can't just create obstacles for yourself. You know what I mean? Expectations and obstacles can sometimes be the same thing. But in this sense, you expect that school is too hard for you or that you couldn't pass the tests. But have you even tried? You know? I think it says that you dropped out. Yeah, so you know what it's like, the process of being admitted to school. And honestly, that's the hardest fucking part, is getting into school. I think that needs to be said more, because it seems like this insurmountable Goliath task to get into college, and then it feels like it's going to be like this same, if not like increasing hardness the entire time that you're there. But actually, bitch, it's fucking like, it's hard at first, and then you kind of get into the groove of things, you know? Your upper division, you know, later years in college are more like project based, and there's a lot more freedom with your schedule, and yeah, you don't know what to expect, so don't stand in your own way. You probably can do it, you know what I mean? I go to school with a bunch of fucking numbskulls, so if they can do it, so can you. In fact, I use that comparison as a tool all the time, that like, if there are people in the world who just get handed this kind of thing and they can make it through, and they have the wits and intelligence to do their homework and to pass these tests, then so can I, because I've probably been in a harder situation and had to use my wits even more. And I bet the same is true for you. You are smart enough to ask for advice and ask for help on how to get back into school. And that's the skill set that you need in order to get in and to succeed, is to ask questions and to remove your expectations that you can't do stuff. You know? I wish I knew your name so I could say it like this, like, Tina, you can do this, and just shake you by the shoulders a little bit. That's the kind of energy I wish I could instill in all of my girlfriends, to be honest, because like, everybody is capable of doing so much, regardless of their physical ability and their origin. Like, we all have something that we can do. That's so broad. That sounds really fucking annoying of me to say, but like, you catch my drift, you know? Like, you can go to school. You can do it. You'll find a way. Even if it's your own unique way, or it feels embarrassing or inadequate to you, you can do it. Maybe go to community college. That's not a denigrating, like degrading kind of statement either. Like, I honestly think that people who go to community college for the first 2 years, get an associate's degree or certification or whatever, and then move on to an upper division program at a 4-year college, that's smarter, because you save a lot of money for the same education. And then oftentimes the teachers are like less busy, and they're like more available to like really teach you one-on-one. And that's really important in college, because you can spend 4 years just learning fucking nothing. It's totally possible. I mean, hey, some people study business. They just fucking like look at pie charts and make up new language for money that's just really convoluted. I'm really salty about business classes right now, because I'm in that finance class. I may have mentioned it a few weeks ago, but to refresh, I am taking this 4-credit finance class that's online, and fuck, it's so much work, and it feels like so redundant, to be honest, because it's not like there's like some final product that I care about. It's just a bunch of like made up businesses on paper, and it's like, Smart Touch Learning paid $182,000 for this service, and this goes to the service revenue account, and this goes to this managerial account, and it's just a bunch of hokey pokey that I don't even care about, you know? Like, I'm never gonna run a corporation, or I hope not. You know, that's not my path in life. Just Queer Abbey Incorporated. No, it's more of a sole proprietorship, actually. But you see, what I just talked about the last 30 seconds, that's all shit that I learned in college that I would have never actually thought that I was capable of learning before I came in, you know? So the first step for you, literally, after you remove your expectations, is to fill out the FAFSA. So in January, before January 30th, that's the time that it's like you're meant to fill out this form, and it's all about how much money you make and like what assets are available to you to go to school, and it's to identify how much financial aid you qualify for. That's what it is. It's the Federal Application for Student Aid. FAFSA. Yeah, FAFSA. I always say it wrong. But you do that each year that you're in college, and you qualify for federal aid. And stay with me. I know these words are stupid and like they just make your brain want to check out, right? Federal aid and stuff. But the FAFSA, you fill it out. It's an application for money. If you are poor, they'll probably offer you a Pell Grant. And then that's like the really important one. I mean, if you're able to qualify for a Pell Grant and you're low income, you qualify for a bunch of other stuff automatically. It's likely that you can get on food stamps if you qualify for a Pell Grant and qualify for other grants and stuff. So there's like money available and you don't know until you try, which is really scary. But I would encourage you to try, because if you had to, you could always drop the classes, you know? So you fill out the FAFSA, you see if you can get financial aid. It depends on what college you're trying to go to, but there are different entrance requirements. Some colleges require you to write an essay. Some of them require you to blank diddy blank to blank. I know I had to take a math exam that was not that crazy. It's like a tiered, like changing difficulty. It's like algorithmic. Anyway, sorry. Something's playing out of my headphones. I'm distracting myself. I'm just rambling on and on about this one, but I'm serious. So, important, college, yes. FAFSA, you can do it. Math test, I had to do a math test, but you can do it too. I surprised myself, You can oftentimes like study on the software that you have to do these sorts of exams on and like prepare yourself. And then you probably have a bunch of different tries. So especially the test part, like don't let that stop you, diva. I need to wrap it up because I've been going on for like 10 minutes about college entrance exams and stuff like that, So thank you to the 2 people who submitted their little advice prompts. You're stunning. You're a diva. If you want to have a little question, a query, an inquiry featured on Queer Abbey, you may submit it to our anonymous inbox that's in the description of this episode. It's just a little link. You click it, and then you can fill it out. You don't need to put your name or your contact information. It'll just send an anonymous post to a little inbox that I have. You could send us an email if you want to queerabbey@gmail.com. That's QUEERABBEY@gmail.com. Or our phone number, which is 503-567-2053. I look forward to hearing from you. I'm also happy to feature your fucking music too, speaking of which, let's get into that musical spotlight. All right, y'all. Welcome back to the last segment for this evening. I have a very exciting musical spotlight to share with you from a local artist called Veana Baby. Veana and I actually met in person through a mutual friend of ours, Katie, who has been featured plenty of times on Queer Abbey. Y'all should know Katie Waterland by this point, right? They're a regular haunt. But Veana is a songstress, she's a poet, and she's a really fantastic person. She's based in Portland, but she is from the Midwest originally, just way over there. But she came to Portland a couple of years ago and started building a rich music career for herself. She has a bunch of discography out on Spotify that you can listen to, including like Honey Dip, or the song that's going to be featured this week, which is called Pillow Talkin'. She released this song last year, not too long ago, and she even created some visuals for it on her Instagram, which you can certainly check out. I chose to feature this song because it's fun as hell. I think that you will clearly see and have the same sort of appreciation that I have for Veana Baby. She's clever, she's biting, she's also a really good singer, so as you know, these things tend to be a pretty powerful combination. She makes music that is like relatable and it's easy to connect to. It's not like some pretentious, masturbatory stuff, but also she's a good poet and she's can sing. So Veana's kind of viral on TikTok sometimes. That's another place that you can follow and keep up with her. So yeah, I will link her Spotify in the description of this episode, and you can go off and go follow Veana everywhere on her socials from there. Let's get into Pillow Talkin' without too much further ado by Veana Baby.
Are you gonna hang up on me? Don't hang up on me. Motivation, telling your lies, waiting for time. Now you're in drive-by mode, trying to see what I am doing. Who's fucking on me? Who's fucking on V? You'll never know why. Your stories they'll see. You're just a pillow talking, money walking, chain snatching, ugly nigga, copycatter. Funny how you waited. Build up my confidence just to take it. How fragile my heart was to break it. Gotta let go of my past. Mistakes I made with you, I guess our story never lasted. You're just a pillow talking, money walking, chain snatching, ugly nigga, copycatter. Funny how you waited. Build up my confidence just to take it. How fragile my heart was to break it. Gotta let go of my past. Mistakes I made with you, I guess our story never lasted.
All right, y'all. That was Pillow Talkin' by Veana Baby. I hope that you enjoyed her talent, her cheekiness, and her cleverness as much as I did. Please do not forget to go to the description of this episode right now and give Veana a follow on all of her socials. Not like she needs my my exposure or anything. Veana is fantastic. She's a self-proclaimed master at TikTok, so go check out some of her videos. She's so funny. I love that she goes from this like fantastic flow into you're just an ugly beep beep beep. I can't say that word, but Veana, go off. I look forward to seeing a performance of yours and maybe performing with you sometime soon. And it was an honor to feature your song on this week's episode. Low-key, my friend is outside and she's going to pick me up to go to this secret meeting right now. So that's all I have for you this week on Queer Abbey. It was fun to teach you how to tie a scarf, to discuss your boss secretly hating you, and to listen to the fantastic music of Veana Baby together. Don't forget to submit your inquiries to our anonymous inbox or contact me about featuring your music on next week's episode. That's pretty much it. All right. Bye, y'all. See you next week.